Hey everyone, Share 3D Cam just rolled out a new update, PointClouds Studio version 2.4. It comes with a major upgrades including support for 3D Gaussian Splatting, as you can see here. This 3D GS was created with the SHARE S20 and processed using the latest version of the software. Let's dive in and see how it works and what improvement it brings to the table. One key detail when scanning for Gaussian splatting is the photo interval. You need to set it to 0.5 seconds. The default is 2 seconds, and if you leave it there, it simply won't work. You need to adjust the time interval before starting a scan, or just tap on Gaussian mode, which will automatically set it to 0.5 seconds. So you can't process Gaussian splatting with older scan data if the photo interval was set to 2 seconds. The second important thing to keep in mind is to avoid direct sunlight or uneven lighting conditions. You will also need to walk a bit slower, around 0.5 to 0.8 meters per second. This new software version comes with a completely redesigned interface, and the GNSS Fusion can now offset height, which is a really useful upgrade. There is also a new feature called Structure from Motion, which becomes available when you enable undistorted photo output. You will only need to turn this on when working with Gaussian splatting. You don't need to enable this if all you want is the color point cloud. The undistorted photos can be huge, up to 35 megapixels each, and they will just eat up your storage unnecessarily. The software also introduced a new color point cloud mapping algorithm, and it now prompts you to specify whether your scan data is from an indoor or outdoor environment. I placed 4 checkerboards in a field to collect ground control points, and this is the remapping result from the previous software version. One of the boards is hard to identify clearly at the center point. Do you see the board in the lower right? It looks blurry and not very sharp. When I remap the same scan with a version 2.4, it comes out much sharper. The checkerboard is now clearly visible, making it easy to identify the center point. This is a very welcome change. The operator ghosting has been completely eliminated. I have also tested it with several of my older scan datasets, and I can confirm that this new algorithm significantly improves colors mapping. On the left you can see the remap from the old version, and on the right is the result from the version 2.4. The difference is dramatic. Before we jump into 3D GS processing, let's talk about the hardware. My main setup is a desktop running a Core i9 14900K paired with a RTX 4090 GPU with 32GB of RAM. With this setup, processing Gaussian splatting in balance mode takes about 30 minutes for every 1 minute of scan time, so a 3-minute scan requires roughly an hour and a half to process. This PC can draw up to 600 watts of power, and in today's world of skyrocketing electricity price, it's worth considering whether the energy cost makes 3D processing worthwhile. Before you can process Gaussian splatting, you will need to remap the color point cloud with the undistorted photo option enabled. The accuracy error remains unchanged in this version. Here we are seeing about 2 mm of error over a 30 meters length. When you enable the undistorted photo option, it unlocks the image comparison tab. Here you can see how the photos are mapped onto the point cloud at each location along the trajectory. Keep in mind, though the undistorted photo files are quite large, a 3-minute scan with the SHARE S20 can reach about 6.5 GB, while the same scan with the SHARE C1 is much smaller at only 780 MB. To start processing Gaussian splatting, click on the 3D Gaussian tab. Next, click on Data Management. The software will prompt you to locate the undistorted photo folder, which is stored inside the output directory. Here you will find the parameters for indoor or outdoor settings, along with the processing quality options. I will select balance mode, and for iteration, I will leave it at the default value. 3D.js processing is very demanding on VRAM, so you will want to use a GPU with at least 12 GB of VRAM. After processing, the software saves the 3D.js output inside the 3D.js folder. Open it and you will find a subfolder named PLY. You can delete the point cloud files from the 10 and 15 iteration runs and just keep the one from 20 iterations. Here is the result from the SHARE S20. About an hour and a half of processing time. Next, I will capture the wall at the end of the road to compare against the SHARE C1, the FJD Trion P2, and the 3D Maker Pro Eagle. The lighting conditions here aren't ideal, with strong sunlight creating uneven exposure. In contrast, the scan I captured with the C1, which you will see next, had much more even lighting. This is the 3D.js result from the SHARE C1. When I captured it, there was no strong sunlight, so the lighting conditions were much more even. And here is the result from the FJD Trion P2 captured using the Insta360 X5 camera. The photos from the Insta360 have a noticeably lower image quality compared to the SHARE S20 and the C1, and that difference shows clearly in the 3D.js output. In this test, the SHARE S20 delivered the best performance, followed by the SHARE C1 in second place. Here is the 3D.js result from the 3D Maker Pro Eagle. It has a soft, almost jelly-like appearance. In terms of ranking, I will place the FJD Trion P2 in the third since it produced sharper images than the Eagle. Let's compare the images side by side. On the left is the SHARE S20 and on the right is the SHARE C1. The S20 delivers a sharper, higher resolution image. Here is another side-by-side comparison. The SHARE S20 on the left and the FJD Trion P2 paired with the Insta360 X5 on the right. The mechanical shutter photo camera on the S20 is far superior to the video-based images from the Insta360 X5. And here is the comparison with the 3D Maker Pro Eagle. Its image resolution is noticeably lower than the competitors. After the recent software update, I can no longer process 3D.js using the RTX 4090 GPU. Here's the final comparison: the SHARE S20 on the left and the SHARE S1 on the right. Once again, the S20 delivers the best image quality. And here's the comparison with the Trion P2 paired with the Insta360 X5. Many S20 owners have asked me whether attaching the X5 camera to the S20 would upgrading 3D.js performance, but in my view, that wouldn't be an upgrade at all. Alright, that wraps up my review on SHARE PointClouds Studio version 2.4 with its new 3D Gaussian Splatting capability. Personally, 3D.js isn't part of my workflow. I don't have any practical use for it. Thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.